I'm on a 23-9 run with the complimentary plays, and I've got 3 selections for this busy Saturday card coming up in just a moment. But first, if you happen to be a follower of the Daily Video Report, or you happen to visit the site daily, or if you happen to be a customer of mine, and my apologies if you happen to be in that latter group, because as you know, the past week or so, it hasn't been a lot of fun, because I have truly been living on the edge. And no, I am not talking about a bad Bon Jovi song, which is kind of like an oxymoron because there's such a thing as a good Bon Jovi song. But hey, that's a subject for another day. But listen, I have lost, going into Friday's card, 4 of my first 6 college best bets this season have lost by 1 point or less. And then look at my NFL plays. The Steelers just falling short on Monday night. And then on Thursday night, falling short once more. With the Saints, right? I mean, yeah, I walked away with the push, and I'm blessed to walk away with the push. So last night, though, you know, I'm one of these guys. I don't celebrate the wins. I don't lament the losses, because what happens yesterday should never affect how you play today. So I come right back because I found the game yesterday where that little guy was just standing on my shoulder, whispering in my ear, bet me, bet me, bet me. And he was saying Arizona State. Now, maybe there's something to it. Arizona State's nickname is the Sun Devil, and that guy on my shoulder, well, maybe he was just a little devil over the past week. So I'm on Arizona State. When I released the play and I got down on it, it was 4.5. And the line eventually went back up to 5.5, but hell, I felt great with Arizona State. And it looked great when they had that double-digit lead late in the game. And then damn St. John's comes back and makes it a 1-point game, and I'm thinking, am I trapped in like a Back to the Future movie? Is this like deja vu all over again? Could this possibly be happening to me again? And oh yeah, listen, if you're a gambler out there, you know that feeling. You've been in those shoes. You know it's like, is it gonna happen once more? But then suddenly, last night, the black clouds moved out. Moses came down, parted the Red Sea. I don't care what biblical thing you want to say, but something good happened. Arizona State went to the line. They hit every single free throw in the final couple of minutes. Suddenly, they closed the game on an 11-0 run, and I won a game. Arizona State covered. And to me, that's like one of those moments, you know. The choir started singing, the angels came down from heaven, and that means I'm going to start winning every single day. Well, hey, listen, you got to believe in something, right? So anyway, let's get to the complimentary plays. Props to Matt Rivers, who hit his first college blank check release of the season last night. The big plays today, Jack Brayman, 3rd ever 200-dime college football release since he joined the site last January. Remember his second one? Oh, you should. It was that little play, Auburn over, who did they beat in the Iron Bowl? Yeah, Alabama 2 Saturdays ago. It's the half price play of the day by using the coupon code THIRD. Spell the word out, THIRD. Other big play today, Brad Wilton, who rejoined the site with a bang, cashing in with a 150-dime release last Saturday with Clemson over Miami of Florida. Up the ante, 105 50-dime winner number 31 out of 45 goes today. Xavier and Colorado. It tips off at 5 o'clock Eastern time. The second ever 150-dime college basketball release ever since his initial foray here at the site when he joined it back in February of 2013 goes today. And you save over half price by using coupon code BRAD, his first name. And Trace Adams, who's on a roll in college basketball, seeking winner number 16 out of 22, double your wager non-conference game of the year. I think the game goes at 2 o'clock Eastern time. It's Wichita State and Oklahoma State. Now, that is going to be a damn good game. He's had one double your wager play so far. It was Nebraska over Boston College last Wednesday. You got it for over half price off. Today's play over half price off, too, using coupon code double, DOUBLE. This, of course, being Saturday. Remember, a coupon that could save you potentially hundreds of dollars off your total purchase price. That coupon code is 24%, 24PERCEND. It's a mix and match coupon, which means you can use it for any combination of picks and or packages. The only stipulation is a one-time usage coupon, which means you got to put everything in your damn shopping cart at one time to maximize your savings. If you have any coupon questions, just contact customer service. Let's move on. Okay, let's get to your first complimentary play. Let's talk about the game. I'll try to run these in reverse chronology. Let's talk about West Virginia and Pittsburgh. Now, could this be a letdown for West Virginia after that big win against Virginia the other night? Possibly. But when I look at the metrics, Excuse me, I get so choked up talking about Bob Huggins' team. When I look at the metrics in this game, I just don't think so. And what I'm talking about is this. You got a West Virginia team that's scoring 87.2 points a game. But more importantly, you got a West Virginia team that's only giving up 65.9 points a game, okay? Now, true, this is the first real, true road game for the Mountaineers. But the metrics that are most important to me, this is a West Virginia team that's going to press you up and down the floor. Aggressive defense, nonstop, from the minute the game starts to the minute the game is over. And the Panthers lead the ACC in turnovers committed at 130, okay? Pittsburgh forces turnovers on 28.5% of their opponent's possessions. So 1 out of every 4 possessions for an opponent, actually a little more than 1 out of every 4, the opponent turns over the ball that's West Virginia. 1 out of every 4 possessions for an opponent, West Virginia forces that opponent to turn the ball over. That's the second best percentage in the entire nation. Pittsburgh is also a relentless offensive rebounding team. They grab 37.4% of their opponent's missed shots. That's 14th best in the nation. What that means, they're getting those offensive rebounds, right? They're getting the boards. They're getting a lot of second chance opportunities. And they're getting so many more shots per game. I think the last time I looked at the number, they're getting almost 10 more shots per game than their opponents. Pittsburgh's big men, they're really not that good. They're weak. Pittsburgh allows their opponents to grab almost 33% of their missed shots. That's 277th in the nation. And keep this in mind, Pittsburgh has played a very weak schedule this season. So again, even though Pittsburgh has dominated the series versus the spread, keep this also in mind. You know, I'm big again on RPI, strength of schedule, competition. I'm big at using KenPom.com and looking at the statistics for the team. RPI, you got West Virginia, number 11. You got Pittsburgh, 166. KenPom ranks West Virginia the 10th best team in the nation. Pittsburgh, 156. Since Kevin Stallings took over this team, they're just 19-21. They're getting no home support. The Peterson Event Center holds over 12,500 fans. They're only averaging like 2,700 on the season. I'm sure they're going to get a little more because it's West Virginia, but I'm willing to lay the points with the Mountaineers here in this contest. Next game, let's talk about Toledo and Marshall. So I had a best bet on Marshall a couple of nights ago. They were at home against... I put the damn game out of my mind. Who the hell were they playing the other night? Tennessee Chattanooga. And they failed to cover in a 70-66 win. And why did they fail to cover? Because they were 1 for 16 shooting three-pointers. They average over 9 a game, and they were 1 for 16 in the game. It was their lowest scoring output on the season, and that was playing at home. Now, keep in mind, they are a terrific scoring team. They average 88.9 points a game. Defensively, they are one of the worst teams in the country. Hell, in their last road game, they were at William and Mary. And I've got to look up here and get the exact final score for you. Against William and Mary, they gave up 114 points in a 5-point loss. This is a big revenge game for Toledo because last year, the Rockets went to Huntington and they lost that game to Marshall. And I think that it was a triple overtime game. They lost 111-105, and they really killed themselves because in that game last season, Toledo missed 13 of 29 free throws. Now, Toledo is coming back home after a hard-fought win at Detroit. They're a high-scoring team as well. They have 5 double-digit scores. I think every one of their starters is a double-digit scorer. I think in revenge against a defenseless Marshall team coming off a poor shooting night at home and a team that struggles on the road historically and plays well at home, I think it's a good place to lay the points with Toledo. Again, going with Toledo here in this particular contest. Interesting here, the RPI for Toledo, 94. Marshall's 212. So again, I'm going to go with Toledo in this one. And you know what? I can't remember what the other damn game is I promised to give you. So let me just quickly look up here because I can't remember. And that's what happens when you work all night long and then you try to do these video reports first thing in the morning and you absolutely can't remember. Oh, San Diego State and California. There's an interesting game for you. My God, what has happened to the Golden Bears? You know, it was just 2 years ago that this team had four future, not first round, four future NBA draft picks on its squad. And a team that had made it to a number 4 seed in the dance. This team has just totally collapsed, underwent a coaching change, a lot of departures. On the other hand, you have a San Diego State team that's 7-2, only losses to Arizona State and to Washington State. You got a California team that's 1-5 in its last 6 games, coming off a 27-point home loss to Central Arkansas on Wednesday. Also lost in the Maui Classic to Chaminade. Is this like Virginia and Ralph Sampson 100 years ago losing to Chaminade? No. But you shouldn't be losing to Division II Chaminade, and especially by 24 points. San Diego State's RPI, 35. California, 310. San Diego State on KenPom, 59. California, 176. Bad. Keep in mind, California's from the Pac-12. San Diego State's from the Mountain West Conference, okay? First true road game for the Golden Bears here in this contest. Now, San Diego State is not playing with a full deck. The 11 scholarship players on the Aztecs roster, they've only played 1.5 games all season long. And Trey Kell, one of their top guards, who's averaging close to 14 points and 5 rebounds a game, is still out. But I got to lay the points with San Diego State in this contest and still go with them. So the 3 plays today, if I had to rate them, I would still say it's kind of tough here, but boy, do I win many games involving the Mid-American Conference? Jesus, you know I don't. I'm going to still go with West Virginia because I believe the Mountaineers are just head and shoulders better than Pittsburgh. West Virginia, number 1. Toledo, number 2. San Diego State, number 3. And that's how I'd rate your complimentary plays for this Saturday card. I wish you well, guys. We'll do it again. In terms of Army-Navy, you know, let me just quickly talk about this game. You've got an Army team that finally broke through against Navy last year. I think it's a competitively priced game at 3. I'm looking at my window right now, and it finally started snowing. They expected to have snow overnight in Philadelphia. It never materialized. We were supposed to get about 2 inches overnight. I don't know. It's just flurrying now. I don't think it's going to make a hell of a lot of difference at Lincoln Financial Field here today for these two teams that are just going to run the ball anyway. I think the biggest thing that's going to make a difference in this game here today is how Navy employs its quarterbacks. You know, they have rotated quarterbacks here throughout the end of the season. And the slot back, Perry, I think his first name is Will, has definitely been the most dynamic performer because of his speed and his athleticism. Now, you know, Bradshaw is not a passer. I mean, if he throws 2 passes in this game today, it'll be a miracle. What impresses me about Army, though, is how Navy couldn't stop Air Force earlier this year, but Army goes to Air Force and shuts them out 21-0. I think they gave up 184 total yards in that game and stopped like a 300 and some game scoreless scoring streak for Air Force. Air Force had scored like at least a touchdown in 300 and some games. That was an impressive defensive performance. So you know these two teams are going to just grind it out. I think it's a competitively priced game at 3. I kind of like Navy to rebound in this spot. I look at the strength of schedule. And you look at Army, because they're an independent, they didn't play nearly the schedule that Navy did. Because while Navy was battling all those tough American Conference teams, Central Florida and Memphis, in and out, and Houston and Temple and all these other guys, Army played some of them, but they also had some cupcakes. And remember, you know, Navy also went out and played Notre Dame too, you know, and they played a competitive game as well. So I think Navy squeaks out the win in this contest. I would obviously buy down the half point on the midshipmen in this game. But again, it wouldn't surprise me if this game falls right around the number. So what the hell? Let's make it a complimentary play too. I like Navy minus the points. And I'm going to go and let me just double check here. Make sure what the line is here. The latest update on this one is, yeah, it's a solid 3 every place. So I do see, just one book I see at 2.5. I would go ahead, and this is a situation where I just don't think there's going to be any line movement, so I'd go ahead, play Navy, buy down the half point, and go with the midshipmen in this one. Good luck, everybody.